welcome to Have a Chat. It's a beautiful Monday here, and we're live at Rogers Studio in Miramichi, New Brunswick. I'm your host for this afternoon, Judy Loche, with my beautiful co-hosts that I treasure, Audrey Lynch and Veronique Arsenault.
Yep.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the
Happy
set.
Monday.
It's a good, clear Monday right now.
It is. The sun is shining
Right
at
this minute.
Yeah, until tomorrow.
Exactly.
Veronique, you're a stranger, but we're so happy to see your face back
Welcome
here.
back.
I
Welcome
know. It's you know what, and I'm really glad to be back. I'm really glad. I've missed you guys. It's the last few weeks have been we're gonna call them challenging. Mom's been working through some pretty significant health challenges in the last little bit. She had open heart surgery last Saturday, and had some reactions to the medication, to the anesthesia, and all of that stuff. So we've been living at a St. John for the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm really glad to be back, and we had
doing better.
She's doing better. Yeah,
better.
she's starting to come
Good.
along. Yeah. And we had a little crisis with Dad. Most people know that Dad's in the Congo working away still with the UN, but they had a bombing and such where Dad lives and works. So I think there should be a law that only one parent can be in crisis at a time.
I would second that. I think that
would be
law
nice.
should be in effect
or
too.
one of your children, not all
Yes,
four.
yeah, it can't be all four, yeah.
You know.
So
Especially,
they're both doing okay. Dad's safe, which is good, although he's still
Yes.
in country, as we say, in the
Yeah.
Congo. But
Okay.
yeah, so I'm a little tired.
Well, you look great for being everything,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
with everything you've been
I've got
through.
the big bags, but I've got the makeup on.
No,
so
I
it's all
do
good.
too, because my dogs don't think that you should
No.
sleep. That's just not, why would you be
No.
sleeping at 3 in the morning?
No.
Exactly.
No.
That's
But
just it.
you look great,
So
girls.
we've shuffled up the seats. If any of our
I
viewers
know.
notice, we've been trying something new. So
It's
and
good.
each of us are taking turns hosting, and I've never sat in the middle.
How's
before.
it feel? Stuck
I'm
in the
like,
middle with
it's-
you.
Actually, I sort of like it. I do.
Vera, with a monkey in the middle, right?
I know. We're
We're
gonna
gonna
that.
try a little
Excuse
monkey.
my voice.
Yes.
I'm still trying to get over a head cold that's decided to
Okay.
settle
Woo.
in here.
I know. I'm
So-
gonna wear a mask.
Well,
I'm not contagious. I
Oh,
just
that's
sound-
good.
I sound absolutely awful.
no, you don't.
You're good.
And you do, though, if you were able to give it to us, you have the
Yes.
quote for the day.
I
Audrey.
do. I was looking for something very motivational. This time of year can be so busy and so
Yeah.
crazy.
It's a bit.
And just getting out of bed and opening your eyes, like how do you go from there? So these
Some days it's hard.
It is.
Some
It
days
really
they
is.
won't open.
No.
So my quote for today is actually 8 quotes that keep me motivated every day. So
Okay.
number 1, no one's going to push you except for yourself. Always believe something wonderful is going to happen.
Ooh.
Nothing is permanent in this world, not even our troubles.
That one's hard to remember.
No, that's good, though.
Yes. Letting go isn't easy, but it is necessary. Okay. Don't lose hope. You never know what tomorrow may bring.
Yes.
Life is tough, my darling, but so are you.
Some
That's
days
for
you
you.
just, I know, and some days I don't feel it. I'm like, I'm not going to
No.
get through this.
No.
You know?
Number 7, stop being afraid of what could go wrong and think of what might go right.
Yeah.
It's hard to
I'm a
remember them.
worrier, but
Yeah.
so I have
Right.
to focus on that one.
Yep.
And then number 8, work hard in silence and let your success be your noise.
Yep. I like that one.
I like that.
one, yeah. Perfect. Like so
That's a lot to think about.
It is. But I mean, you know, if even just one of those is what helps you get through that day, one day at a time.
That's right.
Right?
I just wanted to bring up the fact to our viewers that we did have a very special guest on with us this summer.
Yeah.
A young gentleman by the name of David Gilliam, who at the time was on with our co-host. You girls were away, and we
Yes.
had Michelle Hebert on with
Yes,
myself.
I remember.
And he was suffering from colorectal cancer, which was his first diagnosis, and then it turned into metastatic cancer,
Yeah.
and it spread throughout, and ultimately, sadly, to those who did not know, he passed away November 21st after a courageous battle with health and the love and support of so many
So
people.
many people. He was a young man.
A
very-
36-year-old young
36
man
from Australia.
from Melbourne.
Yes. And a DJ, a fantastic DJ.
You know, right up there in Canada. I think number 8, 8th in Canada, nominated by Wavo, I believe. And so really, really gifted.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a little
definitely.
boy, 1.5, I
Yeah.
think, Ari, and little girl Mila.
Yes.
But I
Yeah,
did.
so he passed away
He
this
did
week at his
pass
funeral.
away, and we'll miss him terribly. He was larger than life.
Yes.
He was one of those
I
people,
missed the show that day.
when you met him, you
Yeah.
loved him immediately. He was just one of those
He just had that
contagious,
personality.
positive personalities, is right.
Oh, exactly.
So I did go to the wake and I did go to his funeral, and I have to say that I've been to so many funerals at my age that you try to pay honor to those that you love and you've lost. I have to say, I said to Nathan DeLong, the editor of the Miramichi Leader, that it was absolutely beautiful. You know, you're not supposed to think of a funeral as beautiful because it's so
Right.
heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you're celebrating and capturing someone's life in an hour and a half, it was out of
was,
this
eh?
world.
Well, I remember you texted me when you got home and you said that, like that you were so struck by it.
Struck, I was in
Yeah.
awe. They had a full
Yeah.
band there playing music that Dave himself chose.
Yes.
And it was uplifting music. It wasn't dismal and sad. It was joyful, and it just made me happy. And I've never been to a funeral where I felt happy to say that, because we're all going to pass on in this life. We all know that. But to have a send-off that he so deserved. I was just beaming that he was watching this. I do believe.
And it didn't just end with the funeral, actually. I myself attended the after party that Dave was very adamant about having. Where
Yes.
people were going to be in a more relaxed setting, and his music was playing, and people were having a few
Amazing, right?
beverages. And just being more in that kind of setting where,
Happy.
you know, I got to meet his brother and, you know, other
Sweetheart.
family members. And it was there was laughing, and there was dancing, and there was crying, and there was more laughing. And it was
Right.
just a perfect send-off,
Yeah.
a perfect end to the day.
And
for
that,
sure.
you know, when Luke, just for those who might be interested, he did have a really hard road, Dave, growing up. Not only did he lose his life at 36 to cancer, but he also lost his mother when he was 3. I think he was 22 when he lost his mom, and 3 when he lost his father.
Yeah, both his parents died.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
you know, so he did really well for himself.
Yeah.
He married a local girl, a beautiful girl named
Yeah.
Lori. So all we can do is say rest in peace, our friend.
Exactly.
He left a big spot in my
Impression.
heart.
Yeah,
He
in
really
Miramichi.
did. A
In
lasting
Miramichi,
one.
for sure, definitely. And thoughts and prayers are with his family, for sure.
And it's funny because you just said that it struck something with me. I wanted to say, because we often hear thoughts and prayers, right? That people say that. But so over the last couple of weeks, I've gotten a lot of messages from people, a lot of, you know, I'm sending your prayers. It meant so much to me.
Support.
does.
You know, and we often hear, well, you know, thoughts and prayers are nothing, but I will tell you, it meant so much to me.
It does.
And I got text messages and phone calls and emails, and that was just because Mom was, you know, sick. But it, like, honestly, when you know that someone has taken a moment to have that thought for you
To think
and to
right.
pray for you, to have some
Yeah.
comfort, it meant an incredible amount to me. It
It
really
does, right.
did actually help me. Now I realize that that's not the only thing that we can do in tragic situations. But in this situation, it meant a lot to me. It really did. Yeah, it made a real impact, and it helped me.
People took the time, and you know, when you're being thought about, you're surrounded with that feeling of somebody caring.
That's right.
No,
Yeah.
And it just
exactly.
takes a
That's just
minute. It
Yeah.
really does, folks.
No,
We're all busy,
that's
but
just
just take a little second and do something charitable, nice. It's a holiday season for your neighbor or someone like Veronique who's been going through, as an only child,
Yep.
very serious. You know, it's a big thing to have
Well,
your
it
heart
just-
opened up.
Yeah, 'tis the season for giving.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially this
For sure.
time of year, and it really costs you absolutely nothing to be kind.
No, because everything else costs so much.
Well, and we were talking about that
scary.
yesterday, Judy.
I
Like,
don't want to see your shopping list.
Wow.
no, but we were talking about that yesterday because we were both saying how stressed we are by this season, right? And I said, like, there's not enough time, there's not enough money, there's not, like, you know, and there's so much pressure, and it's supposed to be the opposite. It's supposed to be that time,
just the opposite.
that
To
time,
relax,
you know, to
having your
spend with friends and
eggnog.
family. But
yeah,
it's,
and
you know, there's
friends.
so much pressure this time of year to get it all done and to get it all done big,
Right.
right? No matter what it is,
Or-
and you know, to make sure that Santa's coming and everything else that's going on. Like, it's there's a lot of pressure.
There is. Well, I find it a little bit different this year because my kids are older and they're starting to have a better understanding of the cost of things and little things
Good.
like that. They're actually more about their traditions. Are we going to still do this part of it or that part of
nice.
it? You know what I
Nice.
mean? Just because things are just totally
Yeah.
different in my house this Christmas compared to others. So to me, it's very important that I keep those parts of Christmas alive.
Yep.
That it doesn't matter the number of gifts or what I
I
pay for the
know, I
gifts
like
that are
that.
underneath the tree.
You're a good mom, Audrey.
They're really more. They value that.
And you've taught them
Right,
that.
and the
You've
memories.
taught them what is valuable.
Well, that's part
basically.
of parenting. I think it's
My
part of
boys
it.
are really easy. Evan, what would you like for Christmas? I don't know. Do you have any ideas? No. Can you think of one thing that you might like for Christmas?
No.
Jansen, what about you? Is there anything that you would like for Christmas? No. Can you give me an idea of one thing? No.
Yeah.
So I'm really
Point me in a
stressed.
direction.
My favorite though was the year he asked for the Swiffer.
What the your
Asked
yes
for
for
a Swiffer.
Yeah. Was it for me though? Yes, he asked for Swiffer because he thought the housekeeper that comes every now and then, it was cool to do that, and I thought I'm not getting him a Swiffer.
No, that was my favorite.
Actually, that is pretty cool. I like the Swiffer. I do own one.
You know what? The play's coming up, and I do have the information, and if I don't, I will just remember what I know about it because I don't think I have it. It is called It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes.
And it is being put on this time. There's going to be 2 shows which will be coming up in the future. The TNB one is later on in the season. But this one is being produced and directed by Candace Curtis, who was just honored as a Woman of Influence Professional of the Year.
Yeah, brilliant.
So it's going to be December 6th, 7th, and 8th
Okay.
at Jameson Hill, but she's doing it for the Point Church.
Yep.
Okay.
And we're going to have Brad Dunnett playing the lead role of George Bailey.
My.
Tickets are $10, which is great, and you can get them at the office of the Point Church, which is just at the top of King George Highway. And when you're coming up to the lights facing the old courthouse in Newcastle, so the Point Church in Newcastle.
That's where they're performing it?
No, it's going to be at Jameson Hill.
It is going to
but
be
the
at Jameson
tickets
Hill.
are
buy the
available
tickets.
at
Tickets
the
are there.
office,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Or you can go on.
I was going to say, you'd never be able to put enough
No.
people in.
No.
Or you can go online. It's www.pointchurch.ca, and you can get tickets that way.
No,
I think people should try to go out and support
Yeah.
a nice,
talent here,
feel
Mary
good.
Shea.
Well, and they do something every year at the Point Church around this time, and like so for a long time it was the Living Christmas Tree where it was like almost like a variety show.
Beautiful.
The last couple of years they've actually done a
See, I didn't realize
a
that. They changed that up.
yeah, and like it's amazing. It's amazing what they do.
I think that Point Church is beautiful.
Oh,
It's not the church I belong to.
No.
But what a feeling of joy when you walk through that door that they bring to you. It's Pastor Kevin Matthews, for anyone that doesn't know him.
Yeah.
And it's just a warm, welcoming feeling. It's a gorgeous surroundings. They have their coffee all set up there to make people feel it's a hospitable place.
Home.
At home.
Welcome.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's
guess
big
what?
fun.
Tomorrow, in the bad weather, hubby and I are driving to
It's going to be a bad
Antigonish
Yeah.
to celebrate Jansen's X-ring ceremony.
That's so exciting.
And I think he's more excited about getting the X-ring than he is about graduating in May.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
sure.
you're kidding.
Well,
I'm sure.
it's a coveted ring,
Yeah.
they say. It's the Pope's the #1 most recognized ring in the world. And the second is the NFL,
Yep.
the
Right.
football ring.
Yeah.
And then the Saint of X.
I know.
Little Antigonish
And
Saint
it's
of
such a
X.
family tradition too, because Gerard had one, right?
Yeah, and a lot of our relatives
Yes, yeah.
taught there
Yeah,
and went
yeah.
there, and so so we'll
they
be
do
proud.
they do that little ceremony separate from the
Separately,
graduation.
it's a great big to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a big affair.
Yeah.
Oh, for goodness
So
sakes.
I mean, we could travel tonight easily, but I have so much going on, and then they're saying the snow is going to come a little bit later in the morning, so we'll
I
just
hope
leave
so.
Yeah.
early,
I
and
hope
we'll
so.
take our
Same.
time.
Yeah.
That's my plan.
No, exactly. That's just it. So
Do you have
That's gonna be
Christmas
so
stuff done,
exciting.
girls?
Well, I'm hoping. So, no, I don't have anything done.
Nothing. No, you've been
But
doing
actually, this year I decided because I drove so back and forth to St. John so much over the last 2 weeks. I decided I was getting a real Christmas tree this year.
nice. Oh, the smell.
Because Dad is actually going to be home on Christmas Eve.
Is what a
Oh.
great gift.
Yeah. It'll be the first
Aw.
time in a very long time that Dad will be here for Christmas.
Beautiful.
He's only coming home for like 5 days. to
But
be
he's home
honest.
for
But
Christmas.
he's coming home because mom has been
Yes.
working so hard to get better. And so so I just decided that this year I'm actually going to decorate for
A
Christmas
real
because I never
tree.
do. And so I'm going to pick up a real life Christmas
That's
tree.
beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Now I don't know what to get my parents for Christmas because they're both.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing.
I can give you some ornaments that I'm not using. Like
Oh, we got lots.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we do.
that
Yeah,
part of it,
yeah,
you're all
yeah.
set.
That
I was
we
just
just
trying to sell you
no,
some.
No,
thanks.
You just weren't digging them out.
No,
anymore.
never.
That's what it is. Right?
Do you know what? There are a
Exactly.
few popular gifts. We're not going to have much time because we're going to be
No.
going to break pretty soon, but there are some gift ideas. I know you have your own thoughts in
Yeah.
mind, but some of the things that are popular for women this year are simple. The wallet crossover.
Oh,
So
yes.
that you can carry just your phone, your Visa card, some cash, and maybe some lip balm or lipstick. It's just,
Yeah.
but you're
Okay.
free to
That's a
shop.
popular gift.
You
Beautiful.
got your card, your cash
Yes,
in there,
just
and you're
that.
moving with
Yeah.
nothing holding you down.
I can see that.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
The other thing that people are liking this year are the mini waffle makers.
Really?
Yes. I'm not into waffles, but they're the thing.
I like them.
They said you have
Yeah.
everything in your kitchen that you need, but you
Right.
wouldn't probably have a nice little mini waffle maker. So you can get them online. You might be able to get them. I don't know where you can
Right.
get them at the hardware stores, Canadian Tire, maybe Canned,
Yeah.
whatever around the
Yeah.
river. I'm not sure where to get them. They also, do you know what's popular are these? I don't know if our producer cameraman can get a shot of it,
Oh yes.
but the sliders,
Oh yes.
the slider neck piece.
Beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Because then if you just get
So they're
this,
interchangeable.
you can get
You just
any
keep-
pendant
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want, anything, color, whatever,
Oh yes.
and you just,
He's there.
Yeah.
there you
okay.
go.
There
So
you
it's
go.
called a slider, and there's also things called a lariat, and then you can put anything
beautiful.
on this. Take this
So
off.
you keep this and you collect those.
Yeah, and all you
then
need is a
can-
little bail to go over
Okay.
it. So you know when you see nice gems and stones and things like that?
Okay, yeah.
Pop a red
Beautiful,
for Christmas.
yeah.
It's so cheap though, this
Love
thing,
it.
not this one,
Yeah.
wasn't
No.
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Compare
And the
to.
stone wasn't cheap, but
Yeah.
the sliders are.
Yes.
So that's for women, and earrings are always popular in just a plain hoop, like nothing
Yeah.
too big.
Okay.
You're safe with just going like something medium size. Let's see, for the teens, pearls with the barrettes on your
I wear
hair
pearls all the
pieces,
time.
like for your
Oh,
hair
okay.
pieces of your
Okay.
ponytail.
Okay. Oh.
Right.
Interesting.
Pearls for the girls.
Really?
They love it.
Okay.
And also the Lululemon, anything Lululemon.
Is still
That one's
popular.
been-
That's been out for
Yeah,
a
but
That's been
while.
hanging
still
on.
hot.
Yeah.
Really?
Exercise
Exactly.
pants, yoga
Interesting.
type pants, and then the Sephora kit that you get everything in for the girls, which
Okay.
is your
With the
travel
makeup.
set, your lotions.
See, I made a
Yeah.
mistake and went into Sephora with available credit on my Visa.
Uh-oh.
I didn't
Yeah.
go in there for
It's a fun
that.
store, though.
Yeah. It's a
No.
wonderful. I love it.
No.
But I went in with available credit on my Visa.
Yeah. Well, what's big with us is I brought into the salon talking about makeup and things like that are the kabuki brushes.
Oh, yes.
What?
Right?
Kabuki.
Kabuki brush,
Yeah.
which is like a contouring brush, but can also be used for putting on the body glitter because shimmer is still big and
cool.
popular. We brought in just bringing in all the different hair products. So the hair glitter and the hair shimmers are back.
Good
right?
to know.
Interesting.
So yeah, they're
Interesting.
back in. They're a lot more subtle. They're a lot more of like a dust. So as opposed to a full-on glitter. So even older,
Yes.
you can wear it and,
Like
and
my
be
age.
able to, and still, you
That's
know,
cool.
be trending and stuff like that too.
Very
So
good.
Very, very
I'm
popular.
trying to think for men before we wrap up, just basically the socks and boxer sets. You can get them at Jack Jones. You can probably get them in our
Yes.
City of Miramichi.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
get the seasonal ones,
Yes.
something that's
Yes.
fun for the
Something
holidays.
fun.
Men are getting more into it. And then there's a book, The Flame. It's poems and selection by Leonard Cohen. And we
Nice.
all know how famous he was, and people
yes.
seem to really like him.
I might have to jot that one down.
Yeah.
My oldest one's a reader.
And what else for kids? Well, there's not a whole lot I have on my list for children, but we're going to take it to break anyway.
Yeah.
And we're going to bring back
No,
some
we have
really
some
great
great
guests,
guests.
and we're going to grab a coffee while you're watching us, and we'll be back for a little bit more of Have a Chat.
Don't go
Thank you
away.
for joining us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're on the set of Have a Chat live at Rogers Station in Newcastle, Miramichi. I'm Judy Loge, your host for this afternoon, with my lovely Audrey and Veronique, who we're 6 years into this now.
I know, it's hard to
going
believe,
on,
right?
going
I know.
on.
It's hard to
Going on our
believe.
sixth
Somebody was
year.
asking me
Wow.
about that this morning. I'm like,
know.
yeah, it's been that long.
Yeah, and we have
They're
two.
like, you have a show.
I know, I heard that too.
I'm like, you're kidding, right?
Yes. So we're joined by two very special
Thank you.
Look at all
gentlemen.
this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, with
Thank you.
all this memorabilia. We have two movie stars here.
I know.
No, it's Pierce Sweeney, and he is a grade 11 student at Miramichi Valley High, and obviously the subject's going to be football.
You think?
And we have the coach of Miramichi Valley High football, Mr. Rich Perry. And you'll say Perry probably, even though it's spelled
Perry,
differently.
Perry, doesn't
All
matter.
right.
You'll
But the-
answer to whatever, right?
Whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
at
the
this
fact
point.
is you're both here, and we have a lot to talk about, and the
Yes.
topic, of course, is football.
I know, I'm pretty excited about this one.
But now the girls and I don't really know a whole lot about yourself, so tell us a bit about yourself, Pierce.
Yeah, so obviously I go to Miramichi Valley and I've been playing football for 2 years now.
Once a
I
Tommy, always a Tommy. Just got to get James and Hill in there.
a lot. Yeah, so I started off playing baseball, and I never thought I'd be playing football.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, that's a big leap.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, so before I got to high school, I asked Mom if I could join the minor league in Miramichi, and she said, no, you're not playing football.
Too rough. She was afraid.
She said, no, you're not playing football, so...
Was Was she was she worried?
I think she's worried about the injuries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, it feels like.
Even his first year of football, she said he's not a football player.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Oh my, she was a little afraid.
Yeah, so when I got to high school, I joined the soccer team, and my best friend was playing football at the time. He's like, man, you gotta come play football.
You had the moves, did you, Pierce?
Yeah, I said, I'll never play football, man, I'm too small for it.
Oh.
So he.
Did you worry about that?
Yeah, I did,
Yeah.
I did. So anyway, he got me on the field, and it wasn't Rich at the time, it was a different coach, but the coach at the time, Scott, he introduced me into the sport, and I started to catch on pretty fast, and then I fell in love with it in grade 10.
You caught on real well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been a problem.
Might be your thing.
I think it's your thing. Switching over to you, Coach. You tell us a little bit about yourself, Rich.
Well, I grew up in Fredericton. I was born in Perth Amboy, but I grew up in Fredericton.
Yes.
And I played football all through high school, provincial all-star, Team New Brunswick, team captain, all that stuff, and went on to play university in Montreal for a couple of years, and
Played there too.
yeah, and I hurt my knee, so then I moved back home and played senior football there. Then got into coaching. Coached for Leo Hayes for 2 years, and actually Grey Cup champion Jake Thomas. I had the pleasure of coaching him.
Oh, that's
nice.
congratulations on
And,
that.
I played with his older brother. And
Really?
I played senior football, but I got a job here, so I moved to Miramichi, and there wasn't football here till about 2013.
That's right.
Yeah, it is. It's
It
a
was
really
fun.
new thing here.
It was minor football at first,
Yes.
and then brought in by Claude Laberge.
Yeah.
Well, it's great
Yeah.
fortune that you happen to be like working in Miramichi and then have an interest in football, because I'm sure you're really happy to have him as your coach.
Yes, of course.
A wonderful background like that.
And one of my best friends, Marty Moyer, coaches
Yes.
James M. Hill. So,
Yeah.
And he's been on the show as well.
right, so his father and Claude started the high school thing. They started going around to introduce high school, and then Marty said, "Man, you got to come coach."
Yeah.
I said,
It was
absolutely.
a shoe-in. You were just.
So I coached with him over at JMH for the first 2 years of high school season.
Okay.
And then, like here said, Scott, who was the former coach for Miramichi Valley, was raising a family. Was a baby on the way.
Yes.
Anyway, so he couldn't take over. Asked me to take over for the last 2 years, and
Wow.
I've been there ever since, and had the pleasure of coaching him for the last 2 years.
But you have something really exciting to talk about
Yes.
now.
Yes.
I mean, you have to talk about the beginning of all this that led to you going to Calgary, because you did go to Calgary on November 21st,
21st, yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
tell us all about that.
Yeah, so Rich sent in a nomination to the Nissan Kickoff Project. So basically,
So
it's-
how did you even know about? Because I am a relative. I'm not a huge football fan, but I've been to the Grey Cup.
I know
I've,
nothing.
it's a thing in our family. Dad's birthday is always his birthday is the 21st always.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, but yeah, imagine. But the Grey Cup's always around his birthday,
Right.
so it's always a big thing in
Yeah.
our family. Like we've been to it, we watch it,
Yeah.
So, but I didn't know about the Nissan.
Well, this is relatively new.
Okay.
From my
Oh, it
understanding, Nissan's a huge sponsor for the CFL.
Okay.
So
Nice on them.
yes, very nice. So I was going through my emails one day, and our athletic director at Miramichi Valley, Justin Court, said something worth looking into. So I read it over, and I immediately thought of Pierce, because there was a certain age group that had to be nominated. So I nominated Pierce, and I just took a shot in the dark and threw a Hail Mary, so to speak, in
Yep.
football terms, and
Yep.
he got selected.
I get goosebumps just
One-
thinking
That's
about it, because
awesome.
you're so new at this.
So
Yeah.
it was 70 players across Canada, high school football players, and he's one of 3 out of New Brunswick to go, and
Beautiful.
the only player out of our 9-man division, which is like our A division, if you will. And
Yeah.
he went out there, and I'll let him tell you all about the
It's
experience.
I was
incredible.
going to say,
Yeah.
because you got chosen to do what? Because I'm
Yeah.
oblivious.
She's
What-
so lost.
He's all right.
I get the football part of it, but this specifically itself, you were chosen to do what?
yeah, so
Go and participate?
they put together a team, and they split them into 2, and we were able to play against each other during the Grey Cup weekend. And we
Ooh.
got to do things like go to the CFL awards, so we all had our suits on.
Oh my gosh.
And we were walking amongst the CFL families and stuff with their
that's
wife and kids, and
Oh,
I didn't even
big.
realize, and then they're on the stage getting awards. And
You're like, I just walked in with them.
yeah, exactly.
Wonderful.
So, yeah, and we got our seats, and there was a bunch of guys sitting next to us, and they seemed pretty close knit, and they all knew each other, and they all had their fancy suits on. And then when the coach for the Ticats got up, he pointed over and he was like, "To my team," and I was like, "I'm sitting next to the Ticats."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You were exhilarated. That
Yes,
must be
yeah.
one of the. You're very young, but that's right now probably the highlight of
Yeah,
your young life,
Definitely.
is it?
Yeah,
For
100%.
sure.
Yep.
So, so you flew out on the 21st,
Yep.
and then so you got to go to the awards, and what else did you do?
Then the next morning we had our practice, our 3-hour practice, and we had to put in a bunch of plays, and all of the team caught on pretty fast because usually a team practices for months and months at a time so they can put together a good game.
Right.
But we put together an amazing game in only 3 hours of practice. So
And one thing, because of course your mom and I are friends on Facebook. So tell us the outcome of the game that you played in.
So the Pro 4 team, my team, we won. It was 29-7.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
even greater news.
Yeah, it was. There's a facility, a football facility with 3 football fields, and when we were on the field, you could look up and there was a big mountain, and you could see everybody's houses, and there was snow all around, but it wasn't cold.
No.
I was
Good.
able to wear no sleeves.
In
and,
November, that's pretty. In Calgary, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Rich, were you able to tune into this? Was it live streamed, or could you see?
Unfortunately, no. And,
No.
just before we got on the show, I asked Pierce about if there's any film. He said yes. So eventually, there will be some film. I'm
Awesome.
sure
Yeah.
he'll share with me. I hope he will.
Yeah.
So no, unfortunately, I didn't get to watch it, but
How
I'd like
proud.
to see it. I am very proud. It was an honor to have a player to go out there.
Well,
And
tell us a little bit about what
Yes.
we've got on display
So-
All
here.
the
So
stuff.
what's this
There's a
all
lot of
about?
stuff. Yeah.
so he plays for Miramichi Valley. That's his helmet right there.
Okay.
Yep.
And then,
Number 85.
No, that's number
Oh, that's-
15 for high school. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is,
85
okay.
is for Team New Brunswick.
Okay.
80.
Yeah, I get
So
it.
I would recommend
reading
that
that.
he go try out for football in New Brunswick last year
Okay.
with only about a season under his belt.
Incredible.
And he made the top 56 players in the province.
All right, Pierce.
Wow.
So he made it the last cut. Unfortunately, he didn't get selected because I think he was younger.
He
They
is
selected-
young.
They selected a couple older players. So this year, or this spring coming, I anticipate him to be on
Awesome.
the team.
I'm so
He
proud
had a
for
really
you.
good tryout, stuff like that. So there's his jersey from the couple preseason games he played, or exhibition games, sorry.
So if you're gonna make Team New Brunswick, do you think your mom will be more nervous?
Well, it was the same thing last year. Like we pretty much went through everything that the players do, but the only thing that I didn't get to do was go to the Canada Cup in Kingston.
Oh, okay.
So that was the only disadvantage of being cut,
Yeah.
the last cut. But
Yeah.
this year it'll be different.
Awesome.
I'm holding right now Miramichi Valley High School Football Offensive MVP 2019. What do you have, Vero?
2018, same.
This one is MVHS Football 2018 Offense MVP. You're just a hot tamale.
This one's for our league. I have 2 of those.
Yes, here's one
That's
too.
the same one over there. It's so
All-star?
our team had like some adversity, so I had to switch around different positions. So I was able to be an all-star for more than one position.
I call him my Swiss Army knife.
Swiss Army knife.
Because I just put him wherever to play. He has a great brain for the game, so you can just put him anywhere and he excels at it.
I'm proud.
What do you think? What do you think you're gonna take away from football? What's the biggest thing that you've learned from football?
Well, football, there's a lot of life lessons in football. It's different from any other sport because football is the ultimate team sport. You have to work together in so many ways on and off the field. So I think that's what I'll take away from it. There's friendships that I've made that I'll always have, and
Yeah, that's
Yes.
awesome.
Now,
Well,
what,
I mean,
oh, sorry,
no,
Audrey, you go right
I was
ahead.
just going to jump in because he was saying about
Yeah.
football being the overall sport kind of thing. I would have to say along the lines of rugby as well.
Yes.
Very, very similar. Now I have what would you give for advice? I have a daughter who loves rugby,
I play
who's
both,
now
actually.
throwing the idea around. I think I'll try it for football, and I'm just like,
You're nervous too?
I'm like, okay.
Like Pierce,
I
like,
play
Mom.
bo- I
You're
play-
wearing gear at least. I'm like, there's a big difference
Well,
there.
there's a huge difference, and I played both sports growing up as well and excelled at both sports. Played
Okay.
university rugby and
Oh, wow.
team provincial
Right.
or Team New Brunswick rugby as well. So, again, both sports, doesn't matter what
But being a girl,
shape
is
or
there
size.
going to be
No.
more challenges for her jumping in and wanting
No,
to try, or
no,
she's
depending-
that's
It's-
all
No,
over
then
it.
that's
Yeah.
good to hear.
I think the U16 football New Brunswick team had a girl on their football team
Okay.
for the provincial team. So,
Oh, fun.
and there is a girls football league throughout the province.
Oh, there is.
Yeah,
So-
I have seen that as well.
And there's,
Okay. I thought she was just toying with me.
No, and actually, we had a female player try out for us this year, and unfortunately, she she quit. But
Okay.
hopefully, she said she had a lot of stuff going on.
Wasn't the
Hopefully
right time.
Yeah, so hopefully she comes back, tries
There's
it.
a lot of grit, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
words do you have to say about your coach now, his skills and what would you say you've learned from Coach Perry, which I'm sure is a lot, given
Yeah.
that you're where you are today and he's had so much experience under his belt?
Yeah, no, I've learned a lot from Rich. He's helped me get these opportunities, but without him, I wouldn't have went to Calgary. And
Is he tough?
Yeah.
he is
Like, I'm looking at his shoulders. His shoulders are kind of, they insinuate that they're going to get the job done, you know? Yeah.
No, he's kicking your.
Actually, no, he is kind of a teddy bear kind of coach.
But he doesn't want everybody to know that, though.
Don't tell everybody.
Yeah, I know.
But what? So, in your whole football career, Rich, and everything that you've learned, what's the biggest thing that you want your players to know?
Pierce pretty much summed it up. Lifelong relationships.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
Networking, teamworking. Life isn't easy, right?
Yeah.
So neither is football or any other sport you play.
It's
But
terrifying.
it is very terrifying. But if you build that network and that teamwork and you gel as a team and you learn how to cooperate well with others, things are a lot easier and you can accomplish a lot of stuff, right?
You
So-
feel like those skills can carry over into life,
life,
as
yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with my job. If I haven't played competitive sports or any team sports, let alone competitive, I wouldn't be able to work well in my environment either,
Yeah.
right?
No, I
So
would think there'd be a huge amount of communication amongst the
That-
players.
that's huge.
like-
And the coaches and the players. Like,
That's right.
And it's a lot of mental stuff too. Like
Oh, for
a lot
sure.
of players don't realize. A lot of people think it's just put on the pads, throw, tackle, and hit. It's not.
You're-
Yeah.
If this guy doesn't do his job, then he can't succeed at his job.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
Yeah.
you know, and it's all in timing. And like he said, it was amazing that they were able to pull that game together in 3 hours.
Just a
because
beautiful
because
outcome.
it takes us a week to prepare for a team that we're playing against the next week.
Right.
We played them.
And you guys play together all the
Good
time.
stuff.
Yeah.
Really
we
good.
practice 10 hours a week, 2 hours after school. every
Wow.
day.
So behind the scenes, I'm always curious because we're the women on the outside, don't know what's happening before the game. What are some of the things that either one of you want to speak to as far as rah, rah, rah? What are some mottos you have or words, final words before they go out in that field? That you really
Well-
get that message to them to go kill.
No, well, not necessarily. Can't say kill.
Kill.
Not
That's
that
what I'd like to. But,
Yeah,
you know, it's like, you know,
Go get 'em.
Work hard, keep your
Yeah.
heads up is 100%.
Yeah.
And, you know, not everything's gonna go our way,
No.
No.
and you just try to keep it positive. And it's hard sometimes because I'm a pretty competitive person.
You are, by
and
nature.
and I love the sport, and I can see the potential of my team and my players, and
But I
to see them like. They get deflated sometimes,
Yeah,
and
of
it's just kind of
course.
like, how do I pick them up back up? But I'm
Yeah.
deflated at the same time.
Yeah, of course.
But it's you work together and you try to find a way to communicate, it, like you said, right?
Nice
So-
balance.
But I think it's
So-
amazing though what you all have done over the last number of years since football came to Miramichi, because it was never a thing here.
No,
like,
it's
but
great.
to how much you've built it up, I think it's a real testament to what you guys have been able to do.
Yeah, and also I sit on the Miramichi Football Association,
Okay.
so we are also trying to get a minor program going as well to help feed both high schools.
Yeah.
I'm going to be
That's
selfish
awesome.
and say Miramichi Valley, but,
No.
but for both high schools, we like to get the youth and
Yeah.
parents involved
Yeah.
because it gets some bad press there a while ago with concussions and
Yeah,
stuff,
of
right?
course.
So, but it all comes down to technique and safe practice and safe tackling and
That's
proper
awesome.
coaching. So if you don't, and all our coaches on the river are certified.
Yeah.
So with
No.
concussions,
Beautiful.
and you have to go through protocol testing and
Do
courses.
you find
and
that
stuff.
there's still a little bit of negative stigma with concussions
Yeah, well, it's now it's I
and
don't wanna get hurt.
research and things
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that?
it's I just don't want to get hurt. That's what
Right.
everybody says. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get hurt.
But the safety aspects really come a long way as far as the
100%.
gear goes,
I
and they're
think
putting
so.
so much. My nephew actually works in Montreal doing equipment for games such as
Okay.
this in hockey and all of
Well,
that.
these helmets, if you see here on top, like you can pump air in and out of them for.
Okay.
Oh,
So
for it to fit better
Yeah.
too, eh?
It's
Yeah.
a wonderful
They fit
feeling.
better, so-
Okay.
Your mom must feel better about that.
Yeah.
Have you had any injuries to talk about at all to this date?
Well, my first 2 years, well, half a year and then my grade 10 year, I didn't have any injuries and I was like, wow, I might be invincible. But
Tough little cookie.
this year,
That was the wrong thought.
this year I suffered a concussion and
Oh.
I missed out on a game which could have put us in the playoffs, but
But
it
you're
happens. It's
okay.
football, so.
These things happen.
But your health's more important than
Yes,
football, right?
absolutely.
So, and I mean, as much as he said I could play, no.
No.
There's a protocol we also have to follow too,
Mm-hmm.
and the school enforces it, and you know, you have to see it get it cleared by a doctor. You have to go through
Definitely.
appointments, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they communicate with me as much as he wants to play and I want him to play.
Well, and
His
concussions
health
are no
is-
joke.
And his health is way more important than,
No.
and, you know, he missed one game that could have put us in the playoffs, and then the second game he still had a little bit of symptoms, so I sat him.
Yeah.
Good.
And
Good coach.
yeah, so I sat him for the second half, and it was a big game. It was River Bowl against Chatham.
Oh, River Bowl.
Well, you
I
know-
sat on that
So-
field. It was so cold.
We're going to have to
Oh.
go to break, guys. We're going to have to go to break, but
Okay.
we're going to look for you in the
Yeah.
future,
Thank you.
you know, the National
Yes.
Football League, right?
Hope so.
I hope
So-
so
Eyes up
too.
for ya.
And we'll be
Yeah.
there cheering.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thanks
coming
for
on our
having us.
show,
Yeah.
and good
Thank
luck
you.
and stay safe and keep
I
on
will.
the good coaching job.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Pierce.
Thank you.
Thank
Great.
you so much.
Come right back, folks, and join us. We'll be very shortly back on the air. Well, welcome back to Have a Chat. It's a beautiful December 2nd, and we are live at Rogers Studio in Miramichi.
It's December.
It's
I did December. I did say December,
Yeah, it's
right?
gross.
Yeah.
It's
I have to
gross.
realize I'm saying December.
No, it's
It
gross.
is. So she's making a point that it's not
Right.
that beautiful.
I just can't believe it's December.
It's coming,
It
ladies.
is cold, but the sun was shining. But
Yeah.
buckle up, for sure.
So again, I'm Judy, Audrey, and Veronique, and we're welcoming our guest now, I'll say Mrs. Baby on board and everything, Mrs. Jessica Lawson, and she's Executive Director of the Miramichi Trauma Resource Center here in Miramichi.
Yeah. Wonderful. I know
Yeah.
nothing about the trauma center, resource
No.
center.
It sounds
A
like
lot of people don't. We're new.
Well, first of all, Jessica, tell the viewers and ourselves about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, so I grew up over in Chatham.
Good
What's
place.
it tell me?
JMH.
What's it tell me?
Yeah. Yeah, I was nodding over there.
Yeah.
I graduated from JMH in 2008. I did a couple years of youth care at the community college,
Mhm.
and then went to St. Thomas for undergrad and UNB for grad school.
Good for you.
Right.
Studied psychology. My main focus has always been more on the addiction side.
Okay.
I like to work with mental health as well, but addiction's kind of my passion. And last spring, I was working on opening a spot in Moncton, which was very different than the spot I have here. It was going to be like massage therapy, acupuncture,
Oh.
counseling, psychiatrists coming in once a week,
Mhm.
yoga, that kind of thing. And I was here promoting it in June. We were supposed to open in Moncton in October. And I came home a few times in June to promote it here. We're so close to Moncton.
Yes.
Right.
And when I was home, I realized that the drug problem here has gotten so much worse.
It's incredible, really and
Um,
truly.
and-
It is.
and it's always been
Unfortunately.
bad. Like, a lot of people are deniable how bad it used to be. But when people were coming up talking to me about it, and I'm like, okay, people are actually acknowledging it now. That's a
That's
problem.
different. That's a whole other level.
Before, everyone just ignored it.
Or
Yeah.
friends of friends saying, you know what, I got myself clean, but my friend is so messed up right now
Yeah.
on crystal meth or whatever. I've had people come up to me
And that's what the
say
problem is
they need
now.
that
It
help.
was, when it was opiates or cocaine
Yes,
or
yes.
other amphetamines.
Ecstasy
Right.
and things like that.
Yeah, people mostly kept to themselves. You know, you hear people talk about there being a problem, but not, like when I came home in June, everyone was talking about how,
Rampant the problem
the
is.
meth is everywhere.
Meth seems to be in
It's,
It's a
it.
it's,
whole
it's the
other
bad
level,
one, yeah.
right? That
And
seems to
I
be-
mean, the other stuff's still here, but it's not.
No.
It's
But
not
this
like
is
it used to
str-
be. Now
destroying
it's
lives
meth.
on a
whole other level.
right?
Yeah, so I came home a couple times, and then I went back to Woodstock. That's where I was living. My
Okay.
my parents are originally from there. They moved back when I was in
Mhm.
university, and I went home and I looked at my husband. I'm like, we need to go home. I'm like, I can't go to Moncton. Like, I can't be that close and not do something. I'm like, we need to
Okay.
go home.
Your heart was in the mirror machine.
Yeah, and I left 9 years ago. I never planned to come back.
No.
It's funny how that happens.
There was a couple times it was brought up, and I'm like, I'm not going back.
Right.
I mean, compared to when you were in high school, as you said, there was always, of course, when I was in high school, I mean, I'm old enough to be your mom, but when I was there, it was the pot and the hash, things like that.
Yeah,
But now, like,
when I left, it was like speed,
ooh,
cocaine. There was a pretty big opiate problem, but it wasn't being acknowledged.
No, people were sort of ignoring it and sweeping it under
Yeah.
the rug that it wasn't as bad as what it actually was.
Yeah, and now with the meth, it's so hard for them to hide it because you're seeing people walking down the street who are very obviously strung out,
Yeah.
yes, and they're driving.
and they're driving.
That terrifies me. I can see it in their eyes when they're
it-
coming at me in their car. It's they're wide open.
It causes more aggression than the other drugs do, and
Physically noticeable
Yeah,
that
the
they're
thefts have gone
inebriated.
up.
of course they have.
So what I decided to do here is I don't feel comfortable charging people here. I know what the economy's like. A lot of the services that I was going to offer in Moncton, the people who need it here wouldn't be able to afford it. So I just got like a little office space and comes with a boardroom. And what we do is for mental health and addiction, we run support groups Sunday to Thursday
Wonderful.
on different topics. Like Sunday night, we have a group for family members of people with addiction,
Okay.
and that's easily our busiest one.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's kind of starting to die down. I think it's because of the weather.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go outside; it's too cold.
Yeah,
But
of
we
course.
have, and a lot of it's parents, and a lot of it's parents of
Yeah.
people who are on crystal meth.
Exactly. Because they're affected by this as
Oh,
well.
absolutely.
And they need assistance and support.
Coping and
Absolutely.
financially they're draining. Like I know of a lady, a beautiful woman that her husband just financially sunk them. He stole from businesses. He ruined their livelihood, their children's lives. It's like such a mess, and he can't.
And a lot of times people ignore the loved ones. A lot of focus is on the person who's using, but the family members are ignored.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people don't understand the toll it takes on everybody.
Yeah.
So we run that group on Sunday evenings. We have one for survivors of domestic violence, one for survivors of sexual assault, a generalized anxiety group. We're going to be starting a bunch more new ones in the new year. And on Wednesday evenings, we do an early recovery group for people who have less than 18 months clean.
Okay.
And we have a maintenance group on Monday evenings for people who have more than 18 months.
This
So
is
who
wonderful.
leads
Yeah.
those sessions for you?
Right now, I run all of them.
Okay.
I do have a couple other people who come in and help with some of them. I have a friend of mine who's going to be volunteering to help with the domestic violence group. She has experience with domestic violence, was in an abusive marriage for a few years, so she's going to come and help out with that. And all of our groups are run by people who've been there.
I like that. Been there,
They
been
don't just have
Done that,
the
they know what they're
studies,
talking
yeah.
about.
Of course, they can relate to
Yeah.
recovery and what it's like to be that far into drugs and reaching out for your next fix,
Exactly.
desperation, all of it.
Yeah. So we have like all of our groups, it's all peer support. All the facilitators have lived experience. The ones that I don't have experience in, I bring in someone who does to co-facilitate with me.
I'm really proud to hear this is available.
Because the only group we have that I don't have the experience in is the domestic violence group.
Okay.
I've never been in an abusive relationship, so I don't understand enough. I've worked with people who've been abused. I used to work
Yes.
at the Emergency Center for Women, but
You would
I
have the
haven't lived
studies.
it.
You,
I
you
have
haven't lived
the-
it, but you
yeah.
studied it.
exactly, I have the education side, but I don't have
You want the expertise.
exactly.
Now, can I ask you a question which you may or may not wish to answer? What would be the youngest person you have seen coming to you for addiction to crystal meth and wanting help?
I've had contact from parents whose children are as young as 14, 15.
Oh,
It's hitting young. I'm working. Another part of my job is I do educational programming presentations for the community or schools
important.
and that kind of thing. So one of the things I'm setting up, I still have to meet with the district and get everything all worked out logistics-wise. But I have a program that I started 10 years ago when I was in community college, and it's a drug prevention program
Oh,
for
wow.
middle school.
awesome.
I have to tweak it a bit because at the time, the it has like there's 3 weeks where it focuses on specific drugs, and at the time I went with the 3 most popular ones in the area at the time. So there was a week on marijuana, there was a week on cocaine, and there was a week on opiates. So I'd have to change that up based on what people are doing now.
Currently.
Yeah, but I'd like to get into both the middle schools and get that started
Of course.
in the spring. I also have a consent and dating violence program for high school.
So much valuable information here that you're offering.
Yeah.
Where
You're biting off a really
Yeah.
big piece of this pie.
Huge.
where
Your
are you
service.
located though, so that if people want to?
Yeah, so my office is at 1750 Water.
Okay.
1750 Water
Yeah,
Street.
we're
It's called
right
the
next-
Miramichi
yeah.
Trauma Center.
Yeah, we're right beside the dollar store, in the
Oh,
building where the
okay.
dollar store used to be.
All right.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Right upstairs from the new
Right.
BMO bank machines.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, there's a few offices upstairs, so
Yeah.
we're
Yes.
Suite 204, and all of our support groups are held in the second floor conference room.
Oh, great. Okay.
Are people shy to come, like to get those people
Yeah.
out there? So
Some,
if
yeah.
I did have a son that was affected, but I'm desperately wanting your services and your resources, do I just drop in and say, "Hi, Jessica, I'm concerned, Mom," or
So
people-
I do drop in my phone number. If I'm not at the office, my phone number's on the door. I use my personal cell for all my business calls, and I'm available all the time.
Let's just give that number right now for the
Yeah.
viewers.
Yeah, for sure.
If you could
Yeah.
just clarify the main office number.
Yeah, it's 210-1841.
210-1841.
Yep.
All right, and that will get you in contact with you, or a message can be left for you to contact that person.
Yeah, we're also on Facebook. Every month I update the group schedule and have it on Facebook for.
Okay.
And most of our groups are open, so people can just come whatever weeks they want if they need to. They don't have to go every week.
No, they don't have to register and say, yes, I'm going to
Yeah.
be there.
The
or anything. They
only
just
groups-
see when it is.
And just go. The only groups where we do registration is we have an eating disorder group, the domestic violence, and
Okay.
the sexual assault, because it's closed
Yeah.
groups. We want to keep the same.
Mm.
We limit it to 8 people. We'd like to keep
Okay.
the same 8 people over a 6 to 8 week
For a-
period, and that way, people get more comfortable, and
That's right.
it's
and they're
easy.
able to
We're
open up.
such
They can open
sensitive
up.
subject matter,
Very much so.
but all the addiction groups is just come whenever.
So some of the program and classes are specific, like 6 or 8 or 10 weeks, or
Yeah.
is it just open to just?
all the open ones are just continuous.
Okay.
I am looking at changing some of the hours just during the winter months, because I've noticed once the time changed, that's when
Yeah.
the attendance seemed to drop
Yeah.
for my 2
Certain
groups that are
ones.
big.
Yeah.
My Surviving Loved Ones Addiction group, which is the Sunday night one, and my Early Recovery have always been my biggest 2.
Right.
And since the weather's changed, that's kind of starting to go
Yes.
down.
Time change
And it
weather
might
change.
throughout the winter like dwindle.
No, so you're going to tweak your hours for that.
Yeah, and I keep it all up on Facebook. Whenever there's a cancellation, I post on there as well. We're working on getting a website put up.
Good stuff.
And another thing I just realized I didn't mention that we do is I also will meet one-on-one with people and help link them with other services in the area.
Perfect.
Because I hear a lot about how there's nothing here. There is. It's just nobody knows about them.
Nobody knows. Isn't that crazy?
Vera, I know you were going to ask. I just have to ask this one question that's on my burner here. Women that are expecting babies that are addicted to crystal meth, what could you expect from the outcome after that delivery?
Bad. I haven't done a lot of research on the effects of doing during birth or during pregnancy. I know as far as like afterwards, it wouldn't be the same as with opiates.
Okay.
And the only reason I know that is the opiate withdrawal is so much different in the person using as well. Like with opiates, you get so sick, like you want to die.
Okay.
You think you're dying, you want to die.
Oh.
You're physically ill. With crystal meth, you get very depressed and tired.
More mental.
Yeah, so when
Than
people come
physical.
off crystal meth, they want to sleep for days, and it's a very deep depression.
Right.
So as far as like infant withdrawal,
Mm.
I don't think it would be as severe, but I'm more concerned about brain damage
Okay.
because people who are using it are having such severe brain damage.
Right. It's
Because
affecting them on that
it's
level.
all chemical, right? So they're smoking pure chemicals, and it's causing a lot of physical damage.
Were you at the seminar that they held at the Horizon?
I was actually
going
gonna go, and it was my brother-in-law's birthday, so I went
Okay.
out with him instead. And then I think it was the next night they had the community watch meeting at the Vogue, and I was at that.
Good.
And I had like 4 or 5 people that were like, "Oh yeah, they brought you up at the hospital." I'm like, "Oh, now I kind of wish I went."
Well, you're doing pretty amazing stuff
But-
here, Jessica. I mean, I've not even known about this Miramichi Trauma
Yeah.
Resource Center, and for our viewers, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that have people that unfortunately are dealing with this, one of the matters that you talked about.
Yeah,
Are you able to get any funding from government?
I'm currently working on it.
Okay.
And I've looked up a bunch of grants, and unfortunately, a lot of them are closed for the year. But I'm going to be hitting that up hard in the new year.
Yeah.
But people that are listening can donate to you.
Oh,
They're, like
yeah,
you're
absolutely,
asking
yeah.
basically for this help for anyone that could come through and
Yes,
support
yeah.
you financially.
Absolutely, yeah. We
By
could
doing
really
that, you're
use it.
supporting the community, not
Yeah.
just your job and what you're trying to do, but the people that are living this.
Yeah.
Well, like she just said earlier in the conversation, was that she knows that people from this area, unlike Moncton, couldn't necessarily afford this kind of therapy and this kind of, you
Yeah.
know, but you still have a building that you have to pay
Pay
rent
for.
to and pay
Yeah.
the heat bill
Exactly.
and the phone bill, and so
We've
those
done a
things,
lot
how
of
are you
we did a lot of
managing?
we did a lot of fundraisers when we started.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they didn't go quite as planned.
Okay.
I'm actually currently in pretty significant debt with vendors
Okay.
from those
No.
events. It's rough right now, but I'm hoping eventually it's gonna.
It's going to swing the other way.
Yeah.
You're a very determined young lady, and you have a baby on board, your
Yeah.
first baby,
Yeah,
Yeah.
April.
April. Well, congratulations on
Yeah,
that.
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, it's amazing what you're you're looking to do here, and I hope that that you do manage to find some government support and community support, because it's obviously something that we've got a lot of need for.
There's a need, definitely,
Yeah.
for sure. And she's accomplished so much in just a short period of time from being
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
right?
We opened September 1st.
Oh,
was,
did
was
you?
our opening day. It took about a month for people to start realizing we existed.
Right.
So compared to the crystal meth area, you mentioned eating disorders.
Yeah, we have eating disorders, anxiety. I'm going to be starting some on post-traumatic stress.
Postpartum, you mean?
Postpartum.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I'm doing post-traumatic stress disorder. I want to do a postpartum one.
Okay.
We have, I know I'm missing, sexual assault and domestic violence.
And there's a lot of that, unfortunately, too.
Yeah.
Are you touching at all on the suicide end of things? in
I'm
mental
a
health, or
member
is
of
that a
the
separate
the suicide prevention.
committee?
Yeah, it's a lot longer name, but I can't remember off
It
the top of my
is.
head. It just changed.
I don't even know it, and I apologize to my daughter.
Community
because,
mental health.
Yeah, she's the one who's part of that organization
Yeah.
as well, Teresa Lynch.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love Teresa.
Yeah,
They're doing
so
great.
that's my oldest daughter who's helping with that. So when you were talking, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you guys have already met.
Yeah, we
this
have.
all sounds like a lot of information.
Yeah,
same
yeah.
information.
I'm on the committee with Teresa, and
Okay.
so I help out with that where I can. And another big part of what I've been doing a lot of lately is I have a partnership going with Harvest House.
Okay. Oh,
They're
yes.
looking to come here in the spring, so I'm working pretty
Okay.
closely with Cal, and when we have people
You have to
come
wrap
in.
up? We have to wrap
We're
up.
out
I'm
of time,
so
just
sorry to
like
cut you
that.
off,
No
Jessica,
problem.
but to the viewers, give this lady a big hand from where you're
Definitely.
sitting here this afternoon. She's doing amazing work for the people in the community that are hurting from all of these various substance abuse issues, health disorders, and et cetera. So we wish you all the best of luck. Thank you for tuning in to Have a Chat, and to Veronique and Audrey for being here with me today.
Yes.
And Jessica, all the best in your venture and with your baby.
Thank you.
So everyone have a great week ahead. Drive safe in the storm, and we will see you next week.
Thanks.
Goodbye now.
Bye for now.